Hi, my name is Vita. This is Hippie Grow Hub. I'm a crafty hippie homemaker, and today we are going to flip and restyle some clothes that I no longer love and just doesn't feel right. So we'll see what we come up with. By the way, I got myself another sewing machine, and it's been such a pleasure to sew. My old one was just tangling and was just not sewing very well anymore. And this is my little hub, my little office space that I created for myself to enjoy my working experience from in home. And it just makes me feel so much better when things are nice and organized and little plants are hovering above and around. So let's get to work. I thrifted this duster. It's quite a large size. I love the decorations. It seems like it's been handmade originally. And I tried selling it. Nobody wanted it. I don't see myself wearing it as it is because it is very large. So also just not very practical for me. So I decided to split it and turn the fabric into something else. So I cut it in half and I'm going to make two tops out of it. I also removed the pockets so it's easier to maneuver the leftover fabric. So I turned the top part inside out to resize it so I can pin it in a way that fits me and that it makes sense. So I'm going to turn it into a top that is pullover instead of a fold. And also I need to take a little bit here on the sides just to create a little bit better shape. So let's see what happens. Okay, so I did the sewing basics. Here I still pinned the sides. I haven't worked that yet, but I sewed the general shape and I attached the pockets over it because it seemed like the back was heavier than the front and it was pulling the top back. And also I loved how the pocket decoration just aligned so nicely right under the bust, creating this pretty little shape. And I believe that the pockets can be really practical. And I sewed it on. It aligned very well. Also sewed the little tuck in around the bust area to shape it a little bit better. I think this one is a success. I'm quite excited about this little top. Okay, now let's work the rest of the fabric, but let's get distracted with these little buttons I decided to remove from the leftover scraps of the shirts that I upcycled before. I'm trying to not hold on to too many scraps. I've been cleaning things and wanting a lot more organized everything around me. So every time I get a little chance, I really ask myself, do I need to keep this or hoard this or do I not? So I only remove the pockets. So now this bottom fabric, it has these splits on the side, but I want to use the entire fabric. I don't want to cut it up and then end up with a tiny little scrap left over. So I'm going to do this like slightly odd shape where I overlay the fabric and these splits supposed to just fall kind of randomly on odd sides just to play around with slightly different idea. And I want this top to be nice and comfortable and loose, almost like a t-shirt vibe, so that it would be like a really comfortable summer top, but still charming enough. So I'm doing cutting out the arms. I want the neckline to be square. Lately, I've been like kind of into the square neckline for some reason. And I have this collar from a shirt that I already cut up before, and I'm gonna try to incorporate it into this top. And it's not something that I have to do. This top would be really just cute and simple as it is if I just did this. But I don't know. I'm up for a little fun. So I'm gonna try to do something a little bit different and be a little creative. So now I'm gonna go with the overlock all around the edges because I prefer single folding than double folding. It makes the sewing a lot neater, at least for my personal taste. And also because the fabric is overlaid, after I do overlock, it kind of secures everything together and makes it neater. So I'm sewing the shoulders together now with a running stitch. And again, the new sewing machine is heavy duty, so it's such a pleasure not to have to accidentally break needles in random areas where fabric gets a little thicker, and it's not tangling fabric. It's just so nice. My old machine was just such a basic machine, and also I used it for many years now, so I think it was just time to retire it. I still have it. I'm keeping it for my kids to play around with it, but for my work, these are the machines that I'm going to be using now. So here it is. We finished off the sides, the edges of the underarms, and now I'm going to try to fiddle this collar into the top. Okay, it's tricky because I don't really know at this point how it's going to fit in, and also if it's going to actually lay nice, because the neckline is square, but the collar obviously is a little bit different. But I'm not going to connect the collar together. I'm trying to play around with this just a little bit differently. So we'll see what happens. I am literally just trying to have some fun here and just see if it does work. And if it doesn't work, I can always remove it, cut it away, and just change it up. Because sometimes, even if mistakes happen, new ideas are born along the way, and it's all good in the end. So I did one line first of sewing, but then I had to press it down better. Also, I was trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the edges. So I needed to trim it to make it even. Kind of felt like one side is a little bit wider than the other. Then I tried to tuck it in more on one side and went back and forth for quite a while with it. And also the very edges, I decided to just do hand stitch on it because I couldn't be bothered to change the color of the thread in my machine. So a tiny little hand stitch just to fold the very last edge was good enough. So I'm doing another stitch over to just fix that collar in. And hopefully that will be secure. Also, just after sewing the top, it sometimes stretches the fabric in a funny way, and it needs a minute to kind of like sit in, and you need to like wear it in slightly and iron it in to make it feel better. So here I'm still really questioning what the hell I did here. So I love the idea of it, but I'm just not sure if the fit is right. Trying to like pull this in the right places to see if it's even. But some fiddles, and then it's starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. Also, the splits are really open on the side, so I decided to just do a little hand stitch to pin it to secure it. So I'm still leaving the flowy splits on the bottom, but I'm going to just pin stitch on the top here so that I don't have like my lady lumps sticking out randomly for no reason in public place. So here. And also I do feel like it would be a good idea to iron this top just to press that collar in so that it really feels like it's sitting as it should. But anyway, right now I don't have time for it, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to put this top to the side, and with time I might even come up with some ideas how to fix the tiny little imperfections that bothers me. So the idea of the top is very pretty, but I just don't know yet if the tiny little things like the shoulders are a little bit kind of sticking out in a funny way. I don't know. I'll find out. I'll figure it out. We'll see what happens later. So like I said, the idea is great. The execution, I'm still questioning, but it's part of the learning process. Okay, so this dress had sleeves on it and I wasn't feeling the sleeves. So I decided to cut it off, but I forgot to film before I cut it off. So that's all I did. I removed the sleeves of this top because I love that the 90s style idea of the top with to wear it on top of the t-shirt. And that's what I was going for. So this skirt had this permanent stains in the bottom. So I didn't realize that when I bought the skirt. Then I decided to wear it myself a couple of times, but the fit is not quite right for me. It's a little bit too tight on the top, so it kind of like wrinkles up and stretches in a funny way. So all I did, I just cut off the stained areas, and now it's like a little cute mini skirt. Which can totally be used in summer, but hopefully not by me, but by someone else if they'll want it. So that will be my spring summer batch, and going to be one of those easy, cheap sells. And this skirt, I tried selling it for a while. Nobody wanted it. I also tried to fix the back the elastic because it was really stretched out and it was too wide for me. But then after I did that, it wasn't sitting too well on me, so I decided to just do something with it. And here's what I did. A long top. And again, if this doesn't work, if I don't use it, I can always remake it and turn it into a different kind of top because there's still a lot of fabric there. But for now, I'll leave it like this because, sharing ideas. I just removed like the sides, the pocket sides, and turned the top of the skirt into the top of the top. And here it is. I just popped it over my wide-legged sweatpants, and I kind of like the idea. I love wearing this kind of long tops or dresses over flowy hippie pants. And I think this would be like a cute spring, summer, easy, everyday wear. Because I do love my comfortable, flowy clothes so much. You can't go wrong with it. This could also be as a cute dress for the beach. Okay, so this top is starting to feel like it's starting to sit better on me as I was stretching it out and kind of fiddling with it a little more. And you know what? Even on these sweatpants, I think it has its charm because let's say I'm just hanging out at home doing my work, and then I have to pick up kids from school, and it's spring or summer, and my t-shirt is stained. So I just grab this top, pop it over, and look, it looks like I have a classy, flowy, effortless outfit on. Why not? Seriously, mommies, if anyone's out there who is as casual as me and like the comfort over anything, these kind of things are perfect. And this top is my favorite top out of all of these because this one actually like fits and sits so nice. I love the color blue. I love the denim. I love the white on blue combo. It's actually one of my favorite lifelong combinations of white and blue. It just has such a charm to it. And I would wear this top totally with pleasure with anything, with jeans, even these pants, over a skirt, anytime. So I'm really pleased with this one. I knew that there's some potential in that fabric when I bought it. And here is my 90s inspiration. So this dress, I am not even gonna put on, just gonna do it on a hanger. I think it looks a lot more fun now because the sleeves were kind of feeling a little bit too frumpy because the dress is already long, and with the long sleeves it just had a bit too much of a brown granny kind of vibe. So I think like this would be still very comfortable, but it's a little bit younger. All right, my friends, so thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Stay creative, and I'll see you next week with some more crafty entertainment. Thank you for being here. If you haven't subscribed yet, do so. If you like the video, click that button with a thumbs up and drop a comment if you've got a minute. Have a nice week. Bye.